Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Newhart with Science Based Body, and this is the Economic Fitness Podcast channel. On this channel, we are going to provide you with ways to keep your body and mind in top peak physical condition in an environment of sedentary work environments. It is our perspective that blood flow is equal to cash flow, and if you cut off the blood flow, you cut off the cash flow. We hope you enjoy our information. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the Economic Fitness Podcast channel. I've got a great guest today. He's a good friend of mine. He has an architecture firm that is actually right around the corner from Vigor Active, and they've been in business about 10 years, and he is a Texas Tech graduate. His studies were focused in architecture, which is a phenomenal thing because that is what he has built his businesses in. And he also dabbled in a couple of other businesses before that. The reason why I had him come over today is because he has a phenomenal program that he offers for his employees just to get people active. He has a lot of reasons why he likes to do this. And so today I'd like to welcome Donnie Rorschach to the show. Donnie, thank you for being here today.
You're invited.
And thank you for your friendship all these years.
Yeah.
It's been great to know you. You helped us when we had to shut down, so
Yes.
I appreciate that very, 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 very much for that. So, okay, you have reasons why you like to incorporate a wellness program, but for us it's just with what you do with us, a fitness program.
Yeah.
So you incorporate a fitness program where your employees can come over, and you guys are covering half the membership cost. It's phenomenal
Yes.
that you guys do that, and I imagine there's some reasons why you do that. So if you just want to kind of fill us in on that.
Like I said, when we moved down here 10 years ago, the first thing I did was walk down the street to Larry North, which was
Sure.
what you guys
Yeah.
were before
Yeah.
you took over, and got a trainer. But I had been working out before for like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I came down here and got a trainer. And then as we grew, once we got to about 35 people, we had a lot of younger, 25 to 35-year-olds that like to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And so we put together a board of everyone's names and how many times a month they worked out. And if you won that month, you would get there's a big challenge cup, and you would get your name on it and stuff. And so we did that for 2 or 3 years, and then I guess Jeremy and Kevin, my other two partners, that's my thing I'm looking at, right?
Yeah.
They started coming over here regularly, and then at some point I said we should offer to cover part of the fee.
Mm-hmm.
And we I don't know how many people we had. We had a lot of people come over here.
Yeah.
I mean, they came over. I remember one guy was coming over here doing yoga all the time, and we had like 4 or 5 people at lunch I'd go with. So
What kind of changes do you see in your employee base whenever there is a lot of them going to exercise?
well, I do think there's a bonding piece to
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and that's the best part.
Yeah.
Now right now, because there's nobody, there's only 10 people at the office, and these guys aren't really workout kind of guys, kind of just sit here and work kind of guys. So, but I have brought a couple of people that actually seem like they work out. So,
Yeah, so we always learn, in the fitness industry, that if we're reaching out to a business, we have, we're supposed to enter it with if it's known in the community that you offer this, then you'll attract the right employees, or employees will find out that you offer this. And earlier today, we actually found out that one of your employees did come to you recently because of that. So that's a big thing.
yeah, apparently, allegedly.
So aside from right now, when everybody's exercising, do you have a different feel about the office?
Yeah, it
When it's
definitely,
full.
like during spring and summer, and everyone's working out,
Yeah.
and it's just there's just more energy in the office because, if you're sitting there drafting and drawing all day long, it's a beat down. If you don't split it up and work out,
Yeah, so you understand. I mean, you're
Yeah.
feeling the importance of getting up, getting away from the
Yes.
desk for a second. I mean, we look at posture all the time, and we know that if we sit at a desk for too long of a period of time and never get up and never do anything
Yeah.
to offset that, it starts to lead to pain.
start to go,
It leads to pain.
Yeah.
And it leads to
stress.
and see all these things are kind
Yeah.
of come in. I love that the fact that you had that leaderboard though. That's
Oh
great.
yeah, that was great. And it's funny because now it's like you would win if you did 13 workouts,
Mm-hmm.
and at this point I think I'm doing like 30 workouts a month. 35. I did 37 in October.
That's great.
So
I love that. It's something that I've always thought if I didn't own a gym,
Yeah.
because I can't stop my staff from exercising. It's just
Well,
what
yeah.
it's crazy. It's just what they do.
That's what they do.
But I always thought if I had an environment where there was sedentary, just because I believe in it so much, I want the same thing for my staff, and I want to encourage them to do it. You know, do you guys have any sort of incentives or anything like that, or?
Well, since COVID, I mean, everything is kind of mishmashed right now, and we're just trying to start to get things back together.
Sure.
I mean, I'd like to see people walking over to just walking to Starbucks from our office is a good exercise.
Get out. That's what's
there's
nice
a
about
lot of
downtown.
people that just sit there and just they don't get off. They don't leave their desk.
Yeah.
So
You know, the man that was the GM before I bought this gym used to, and you knew Jimmy pretty well.
Jimmy, yeah,
Jimmy would just say, "You don't know what you don't know."
that's true.
And I think for people out there that they've never even tried, and obviously here, for anybody that listens to my podcast, I want them to know that we've got a gym where it's very non-pressure kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
You can do what you want to do. You can feel comfortable. There's not pressure to do anything, or no expectations really.
Right.
And there's no big expectations. The fact that you walked in the door is the expectation here.
Yeah.
But it's just people don't know what they don't know. And if you've sat at that desk for that many years and you have not done anything to offset, all that, or found another way to increase your dopamine, which I think is what that's another reason why I do it. You get the happy feeling.
Well,
right?
yeah, and that's why I think I'm a dopamine freak. I think I figured that out in 6th grade when I was doing long distance running. I was just like, I feel really good now.
Well, so this is fun. You did long distance running in 6th grade?
Yeah, 6th, 7th grade.
Wow.
In PE.
How far? Sure.
It was like a mile, something like that.
Okay,
but,
good.
I was little then.
6th graders running a structured mile. That's not something that you get from people. There always seems to be when I'll interview a CEO or somebody that's a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something that they did in athletics that was unique.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people didn't do in that, starting at that young age.
Yeah, and that's like the only thing I could do. I played football, and I was really skinny, and I would get knocked out and flung, down the field by the linebackers. So.
What position did you play in football?
Weak safety.
Okay.
And I did play middle linebacker in one game, and I wasn't injured.
You made it through.
Yeah, I made it through.
It's never really the size though. If you can hit hard,
Yeah.
that's what it was really all about.
Yeah.
You can hit somebody harder than they're going to hit you.
Yeah.
In football.
Or you get tangled up in their legs and bring them down.
Or there's that, which you see done in the pros.
Yeah,
even still.
that's true.
So you talked to me a while ago. We were just having a conversation about why you engage in fitness personally, and I remembered you saying something about all these CEOs out there, which is true now. Within a lot of CEOs, there's depression for whatever reason that's causing. Maybe thinking about the money aspect too much. I don't know. And there's sometimes there's suicides and things like that, heart attacks. I know you told me, man, I do this because I don't want to experience a heart attack. I'm running this ship over here. And so, do you feel like is that still one of the goals? Is that one of the reasons why you stay so active?
Yeah, I definitely think so, because if not, you have to keep your head clear, because if you don't, things that aren't big become big problems because you just keep thinking about them.
Yeah, sure.
But if you go work out, your head it's just like your the little vibrating pad thing that you had. It clears your head, and you can reset. It's all about reset. It's all about good reset.
So what do we think? You and I were the same in that. What do we think is actually? I could go at it from a physiological standpoint, of course. What do we think is actually clearing the head? What is making these thoughts more clear to us when we
I think if you do
exercise?
something very physical that if you don't think about it, you're going to drop a weight on your foot, or something bad's going to happen, and you reset your brain, because you can't think about all the stuff at the office. You have to think about what you're doing for 30 minutes. Then you get that dopamine level, and you feel good about yourself.
That is a great way to put it. Yeah. Maybe it's that mental focus. You have to focus so much. And we know in strength and conditioning, if you're lifting something really heavy, it requires all this executive function to occur to actually lift that heavy load. So maybe that's what it is. It's putting that focus, and especially putting that focus towards something that is our primal instinct, which
Right.
is to move. You know, our genetics have not changed in thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, and I do agree that the whole fight or flight reflex isn't any different than it was 100,000 years ago.
Right.
And so if you don't come out here and fight or flight, it's just gonna build up because we're not made to sit at a desk for 10 hours a day. We're made to go chase and be chased and try to kill things.
This is exactly
Kill our
This is
dinner.
exactly right.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
exactly right.
So we have to have that outlet.
Yeah.
I was speaking to another man earlier today about that. We have to have an outlet.
You're right.
And recommending it to people and giving them an outlet is exactly what I'm here for. And I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear you say the same thing.
People
'cause
that
it's
sit
just-
at their desks are gonna just eventually crater into depression and whatever.
Think about all that. So here's a physiological thing. You know, you get the stimulus, the exciting stimulus of it's the fight or flight that's happening. Whatever
Yeah.
caused it to happen, right? Because
Right.
something causes it to happen. It's usually just up here.
Yeah.
It's not a bear anymore.
Yeah.
It's a
It's your client that's gonna
That's
destroy your.
that's exactly right.
You know.
So blood pressure raises like crazy.
Right.
My natural instinct is to begin moving. When we start moving, blood pressure will eventually drop because blood is flowing.
Right.
So blood's clamped, but yet the pressure's up because the heart's doing this. We don't have an outlet. And just what you said to me a long time ago, that's where the heart attack happened.
Yeah.
Because the blood flow can't go anywhere. So
Right.
It's blocked up.
And you do that for what 20, 25 years of your career.
That's
Next thing you
right.
know,
And
you're
then
just a
there you go.
disaster. Yeah.
So I think
Or you,
moral,
instead of going to work out, you go to the bar and you drink. When you're stressed out, I mean, the best time to go to the bar is after you work out, when you're not
when
stressed
you're
out.
happy, so you don't over.
That's right.
You don't go overboard, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing to think about, isn't it? Good insight on that side as well. But I think the moral here is that we know, you know, the recommendation. We got to make this recommendation, and especially now, right? You know,
Yeah.
We can talk about the time when everybody just had a very, you know, a fight or flight happened big, and it's still happening to some people. It's
Right.
happening now, fear, right? So this is the time where it means more than ever, especially for businesses. Let's get out. Especially
Yeah.
the leaders. Let's get out. Let's do something for the workers. Let's encourage that they get out. And I'm going to be on the quest to see how many businesses want to engage in this in the next few months. You're obviously already there, which I'm appreciative
And
of.
then, just guys that are still in their house working all day. I mean, when we were quarantined, my wife and I would get on my phone and I'd walk
Right.
and talk to clients and different people. And I was doing 11, 12 miles of walking a day. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Then
If you
at the
just-
end of the day, my wife and I would walk about 45 minutes and do another 4 miles.
And on those calls, if you're actually, this is another thing for the vibration platform.
Yeah.
Let's say it was at everybody's desk. You're on your calls. If you're actually pumping blood and moving,
Yeah.
the call goes better because your thought processes are heightened.
You know, that's kind of funny you say that because I don't like to call. I don't like to sit at my desk and talk. I like to talk. I like to walk and talk.
Exactly, me
That's
too.
what I do.
Or I
I'm
just
always on the
shift.
phone and
I
I'm
just
talking.
shift. Even if I'm in an office, I'm just shifting back and forth. Or you got your little box and you're like this
Yeah.
corner, this corner, this corner, back and forth.
Yeah, I almost am always walking
Yeah.
outside or in a hall when I'm on the phone. I hardly ever just sit at a desk.
The call always goes better,
Yeah.
in my opinion, from what I know. So, but anyway, Donnie, thank you for your insight
Okay.
today. I appreciate it.
you.
Yep, and thank you for everybody for listening. And look forward to more exciting guests like Donnie because great time. No, I love hearing it. It's great. So, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
All right.